Hello guys, it is me, Alyssa, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited to be here. It's 2023, even though I'm a few months late on the Happy New Year's. I'm just it's been a good year so far. The year started off well. It's still pretty early in the year, but I've just been so busy. My last video I made was in November, which is so sad. I won't let that happen again, trust. But yeah, I've just been so busy. I've been busy, I've been relaxing, I've been doing it all because I can, because I've graduated. So let's get into today's video. My first book review. I'm definitely gonna make this a series, and I think this will be something pretty awesome. And I definitely think it goes more towards the transformation that I want in my channel. So let's get right into it. Recently, I read What Happened to You by Oprah Winfrey and her friend Dr. Bruce Perry. And essentially, the book is kind of, I would say it's, in a way, it's like a relative to The Body Keeps the Score. But I think what makes this book a bit different is The Body Keeps the Score is something that's, I don't necessarily want to say well-rounded, because I think this book is also pretty well-rounded. But The Body Keeps the Score goes into many different directions, and it actually gives you ways to come out of your depression and your trauma. You know, Dr. Bessel, I think is his name. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering his name. I don't have the book in front of me, and I read that a while back. Sorry. Anyways, but he gives not only stories and his own insights, but he gives different ways and the research that he's seen towards helping people cope and improve. And I've tried some of those ways, and they're pretty helpful. I will definitely say that. This book doesn't exactly give you solutions, but it gives you very touching stories, and it focuses on the question, the title itself, what happened to you? So personally, I'm not the biggest Oprah Winfrey fan, but this book is definitely, it was well done. And I love the dialogue between Oprah and Dr. Perry. So I read it, and I did the audiobook because I just needed something to listen to while at work, right? And it definitely got me thinking about myself and the people around me and the different relationships that we have as human beings. You know, you have your friendships, you have your romantic relationships, your familial relationships, and it started with myself and with looking at my own life and my own relationships and my past relationships and relationships where things just went terribly wrong. And, I think this book definitely, just the question alone, sorry for the the notification, just the question alone, it's freeing. It's a liberating question for both parties. Whether I'm the bad guy or the good guy, whether the person sitting across from me who I'm having conflict with is the bad guy or a good guy, if we both, kind of put our weapons down and we stop asking each other what's wrong with you, and instead we ask each other what happened to you, I think it creates a safe space for understanding and for healing, for not just within yourself, but with the relationship, and healing how you see that person and making them human again, So that's something I absolutely appreciate about this book. And I kind of caught myself even today while driving home from work, and I was kind of just thinking about this certain relationship that I have with this certain family member, and instead of being just why would they do that? How dare they? I should have said this, I should have said that. I was kind of just I wonder what happened. What happened to them? Yeah, I think books like this are really important. And definitely, I think just on a grand scale, if we as a society started asking one another, like, what happened to you? I can't imagine how much, maybe not a lot of healing, but things like the process would get started, you know, compared to where they are right now. And I think also I think the question itself, not only is it liberating, but it's something that, for lack of a better way of describing it, it soothes the ego. And what I mean by this is that, you know, what happened to you compared to what's wrong with you, you know, whether you're saying that or you're getting, or someone's saying to you what's wrong with you, your ego is going to take that two different ways. It's going to be like, what's wrong with you? You know, I'm kind of like, I'm better than you. This person clearly has issues. I don't have a lot of faults. And of course, I know there's definitely exceptions to this, because there are definitely times you can look at someone and be like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is... Anyways. And then when you hear someone asking you what's wrong with you, you know, your ego's kind of just like, it wants to soothe itself. And I think the question, it makes a level playing field, you know, for things to resolve, for things to be reconciled and resolved. So I definitely appreciated that about this book. Something I also really liked about this book, which isn't necessarily about the book itself, but I really like Dr. Bruce Perry and kind of like his humility within this book. Sometimes he was kind of just like a little bit self-loathing. I was like, let's calm down, you know, let's refocus. But you know, it wasn't a whole bunch. You could kind of just be like, okay, sir, you're literally a doctor. And, you know, continue on with the book. It's like nothing you would cancel him for. Definitely, I recommend this book for people who are on a healing journey, for people who haven't gotten that apology, for people who don't know how to apologize. This is definitely a book for everyone. And it's a great book to start healing with. I think this book, coupled with The Body Keeps the Score, because even though The Body Keeps the Score isn't like a long book, it's still a heavy book. Like heavy, like he doesn't hold back much, you know? So I think kind of just get a mental, bit of a mental break, or like maybe a more gentler way of like easing yourself into self-reflection and ways of healing, you could probably read this along with that book and kind of, it'll create that balance, that mental balance. Also, something I really liked about this book was, I mean, I knew Oprah had like a lot of adversity, but she really got into like a lot of detail, and I didn't expect myself to relate to her on some things. I did not expect myself to relate to Oprah. But, you know, again, she was sharing what happened to her. So, definitely, I mean, it's not that I ever saw her as like non-human or subhuman just because I'm not a huge fan, but definitely put some more things into perspective. And it really shows you how one trauma can start the pain, and how it can just compound, and how some of our own traumas, you know, traumas that didn't start with us will still affect us. So definitely, I give this book, let's see, my battery is about to die, so let me rate this really quickly. I would say I'm gonna give it a good 9. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. I am. That's gonna be hard to come by. I know this is the first video, but I'm gonna start rating harder. I swear, when I get through my books. But yeah, so thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought about this book, if you've read it or if you're planning on reading it. Do you have any questions or anything you might want to share? Let me know.